Okay, we're live.
Okay, we're going to call the meeting to order and do the pledge of allegiance. John, you want to lead us?
I'd like to.
Actually, you know what? We need to have Eric do this. Yeah.
I'm all for that. All right, ready? Pledge.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Michael, you do this.
Oh, sure.
Please.
Gracious Father, we thank you for bringing us here today. And Lord, we ask for your wisdom. We ask that you would help us, Lord, just to do the right thing in your eyes and to please you. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. Eric, I had to do it. I might not ever get to see you in the chamber.
It was a good call, Tom.
Very good. Okay, announcement of items discussed in closed session.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the board met in closed session to discuss conference with legal counsel, no reportable action as well. They met to speak to Andrew Platt with Gretchen Stewart in his absence with regard to the Lassen County Peace Officers Association, as well as the California or the United Public Employees UPEC. No reportable action there. Also 2 claims, Wayne Plaster, no reportable action, and also Walker Telecom Incorporated, no reportable action.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on to number 2, agenda approval. Any additions or deletions?
Make a motion to accept the agenda as presented.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Bridges, second by Supervisor Alba. Is there anybody from the public? Seeing none, bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, is there any public comment of items that are not on the agenda? Okay, seeing none, we'll move on to unagendized reports by board members. Mike, you want to start us off?
Sure. On December 9th, I attended the Fair Advisory Board meeting and it had the privilege to address that board and have some discussion about compensation for fair board members and, benefits, that kind of stuff. And it was kind of an inconclusive discussion at the end. On December 11th, I attended the Spalding Community Service District meeting. And on December 15th, yesterday, I attended the CSAC RCRC webinar on the Brown Act and SB 707 training. And I want to make a correction. I mentioned last week that the Westwood Chowder Cook-Off was on a different date, but it's actually on Saturday, January 18th, coming up this next year, the Westwood Visitor Center. Everybody go out for that.
Thanks.
Okay, on the 10th, I attended on Zoom a behavioral health Brown Act training. Really into these Brown Act trainings, I tell you. And yesterday, the 15th, I attended RCRC's training on navigating the Brown Act with the passing of SB 707. There's a lot coming down the pipe with that, and it's I'm gonna have to watch it a few more times. But we're very fortunate that we're a county that's under 30,000 people. I can tell you that. The requirements would be a lot more. And Thursday, I have to go to Quincy for a lipstick meeting.
Thank you. Yes.
All right, last Friday, my princess and I and James Liassi, we got the refrigeration units moved over from the Fort Sage Resource Center. We all know that's closed, over to the Doyle location. So we're one step closer to opening the Doyle food pantry. Over the weekend, I got the opportunity to go out to the light parade with Chris Garcia, seeing you out there.
Yep.
It was really nice. Janesville has really decked the halls up and down Main Street, all the different tractors and all the different other people that participated in the parade. It was really nice this year. Last night, the girls and I also rang the bells for the Salvation Army, and we matched dollar for dollar, raised almost $700 this year for them, and they're shopping for our kids that would not normally get Christmas presents without their help, and seen some of Lassen County Sheriff's Office finest out there and a bunch of other people. So I want to thank everybody that came out and helped with that. This Thursday at noon to 2, we're doing that special food distribution in Doyle. After that, the girls and I were smoking the prime ribs for the Hurlong Christmas party, and we'll be serving all the teachers and faculty of the Hurlong schools. Friday, we'll be doing the Milford Pantry special food distribution. And I just wanted to remind everybody, don't forget the real reason for the seasons. Wish everybody a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you. Aaron?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Last week I went down to Sacramento, attended RCRC, and under that we had the RAI where we had Dr. Alan Murray. He's from the University of California, Santa Barbara. We contracted with him to do a study on emergency medical services, basically volunteer fire departments, and where we're at with that, because it's kind of a lost story over at the state legislature. And I think Silas, I think he got a copy of this. And did you ever get a copy of that, Silas?
Which one? I'm
The
sorry.
report for the Dr. Murray from
I did.
Santa Barbara?
I did.
So anyway, there was a lot of good information that come out of that. And so hopefully we'll be able to use that to go across the street in Sacramento or CRC will to help lobby for, because the number of calls, as you know, Jason, number of calls keep going up. The number of requirements to be a volunteer keeps going up, and the expenses of it keeps going up, and it gets harder and harder. In our rural communities, that's all we have is rural volunteer fire departments. And it's getting the same with EMS. And so anyway, hopefully with that, we can make a lot of good policy changes over in Sacramento and help keep that little community safe and get us
Some money.
So anyway, so that was a good thing from that. As far as RCRC goes, the SRS was notified that it was finally passed back there at the federal level, the Secure Rural Schools Act, and we got 3 years of funding for that, so that'll help us out tremendously budgetarily. Let's see, new second vice president is Jerry Byrne from Modoc County. She's going to be our past president. Miles Menatre from Mariposa County. He's going to be the chairman. And then after that, it'll be Bob Nelson from Santa Barbara County, first vice chair, and the second vice chair is Ann Cottrell from Napa County. So anyway, that's what's going on there. Barbara Hayes, she's retiring. She's the one that's been in charge of the GSCA, the Golden State Connect Authority. So she's going to be retiring off of that. But they just got their bond release on that to get that going forward. It's a huge endeavor. It's amazing what they've got accomplished in like 3 years. It went from a nothing to now they're, I forget what it is, it's almost $300 million in contracts and whatnot to start putting out broadband. Yeah, so that's a good thing there. Then on the 19th of this, well, on Friday, hopefully Mr. McGarvin and I, we get to go down to Sacramento. We get to see how mad we can make some of these people by saying nothing but the facts regarding the rules for Mr. Crowfoot, Bonham, and the environment. So really kind of looking forward to that. And then Sierra Nevada Conservancy, Paul Rowan, he's going to be our area representative on the Sierra Nevada Conservancy from Sierra County. And then today between 1 and 3, down at Jensen Hall, we're having a county mingle and jiggle kind of get together for everybody. Hope to see everybody down there. And I think it's the last meeting of the year, so I just want to wish everybody a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. See you again. That's all I have. All right, thanks. So last Friday, I attended the Janesville Volunteer Fire Department Christmas party, and that's a great time every year, and I appreciate all those the men and women that are on that department that just they they volunteer a lot of time and there's a lot that, their families, sacrifice for them going to all the calls and everything. And I just, appreciate them. And I also attended the, Janesville, light parade, and it was well attended. And so that was, good. And, and then, today I'm going to be working on the, on the senior nutrition, program. We have a few more things to do with that. So I'm going to be, working with that. And, I also, Mr. Alban is going to the, down to, Sacramento on the 19th. And I would just like to present him with this hat with a wolf on it. So that's part of his equipment that he needs to, represent Lassen County. And hopefully that, that you won't make people mad down there, but you'll get our, voice and, heard, and that, that they won't, we won't close their minds, about, how serious our problem is. So, Mr. Albaugh, I would like to present you with this piece of equipment.
Come on, bud.
All right.
You put a little cow on either side of that.
On the bill, playing there.
Thank you, Tom.
You're welcome. Okay, with that, it is 10 o'clock. So we are going to go to D, and a recognition award for December. Board to recognize Leslie Doney. Oh, let me get my glasses. Good morning, Leslie. How are you?
Good.
There you go. Go. All right, this recognition is an appreciation for your 10 years of employment with the Lassen County. We, the Board of Supervisors, would like to take this opportunity to present you with this certificate of recognition and thank you for your time and effort and all your hard work.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wait, you have a few more.
Yeah, okay. So I just want to say that Leslie Goney has been working for the Behavioral Health Department for many years now, and we just really appreciate her. She has been an outstanding clinician. She started us as an ASW, and now she just promoted to as our clinical supervisor. And so it's a huge, thank you for us, because we've been needing a clinical supervisor for almost 2.5 years. So we thank for Leslie for stepping up and actually taking on that position. I know it's been tough to take it on, but at the same time, you deserve it. You've done a remarkable job with a lot of the clients that you've been serving for the past number of years. So thank you.
Tom, I have something I'd like to
Yes.
say. I don't know this young lady, but I really appreciate what you do. I've been on the behavioral health board ever since I took office. And a lot of times it's a thankless job, but it's because of people like you, your superiors, that you make it happen and our county benefits. So from the bottom of my heart, I really do thank you. And good job on your promotion.
Yeah, thanks. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Good job. Okay. Next is, we're gonna move to, we're gonna move to D3 for the, CAL FIRE unit, chief introduction.
Oh, it's a 10, yeah.
What?
This time certain 10.
Oh, I'm
You want to do
sorry.
that one first, D2 first? Or you want me, or you want me, Mr. Chair? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do D2
Okay,
at 10 and 5.
all right. Sorry about that.
I'm fine.
Just trying to save time.
We're just gonna make you wait a little longer.
Yeah, okay, so, we're gonna do the Lassen Fair Building Reduction Fee Request. Bill?
Morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Bill Pyre, Fair Manager. Coming back to you this week after discussion last week and direction to come back with a contract and a resolution authorizing the use of the floral building at the fairgrounds as a stopgap for the Lassen Wrestling Association. So what you have before you is the drafted resolution. You have the contract that's been prepared and approved by county council. And at this point, my only request is to adopt the resolution, approve the contract, and authorize the CAO or a designee of the CAO to execute the contract. As you requested, it is a one-year contract and it is a non-exclusive contract. So that leaves us open to other rental opportunities if they arise.
No questions.
No question? Yes.
Well, I guess I don't have questions, so I'll save it for later.
Okay, I don't have any questions. Is there anybody from the public?
I've got one question.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, their $1 million+ insurance will cover anything that happens down there.
That's correct.
Cool.
And we already have a copy of that with the Lassen County as the additional insured.
Yeah, I noticed you took the stipulations under 5.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Bill.
With that, Tom, I'll make a motion to adopt the resolution, approve the contract, and authorize the CAO to execute the contract.
Second.
All right, motion made by Supervisor Bridges, second by Supervisor Ingram. Is there anybody from the public? Okay, seeing none, bring it back up here, yes.
You know, I just want to say, thank you to Andrew and Maury for you guys getting this contract out and get it turned around. This goes to show that, it can be done with quality. I think it was very good. He got all the requests in there. I thought it was very good. You know, I still can't support this, even though I do support the program. I can't support this. We expect the fairgrounds to make money. And we're at no cost. There's going to be heating and electrical there, and we should at least be getting that. And I tried to make that argument last time, but anyway, so for those reasons there, I will not be supporting this. It's not that I don't support the kids or the wrestling program. It's just that I support the fair too. We gotta at least have our costs covered, and for that reason, everybody would know.
All right. So, I want to say that, that I've been bragging on the board because they have supported the youth. And the youth is our future for this county. And anytime that we can support them, we need to be 150% behind those kids. Because, you know, they are our future and you know, and it just disappoints me to no end that, that someone wouldn't support the youth in this community. And, I also, want to stress that this is a 1-year contract for
Absolutely.
the, Wrestling Association. They came to us, with, with a great need to, help these youth out. But I also want the youth program to realize that now they know what the rental fees are for the facility, and that they will have over a year if they choose to come back to do fundraisers and everything to help offset the costs. I mean, we do need to keep the lights and everything on at the fairgrounds, but we also can help them out in this situation, and they know that what the rental fees are and what they need to do next year to continue this activity. Any more comments? Okay. So we need a roll call vote.
You don't need one, you all need to.
No, all those in favor?
All right.
Your motion?
Yeah, there was.
Gary and Jason.
Okay, thank you. Sorry about that.
Are we good?
We're good. Thank you.
Okay. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed?
No.
Okay. Motion passes. Thank you, Bill. Okay,
I just can't tell.
10. Okay, you're.
Try it again. Morning, Mr. Chairman and members of the board. Eric Ewan, Unit Chief for the Cal Fire Lassen Modoc Unit. And I know the agenda item speaks to introduction of the new unit chief. Take a moment, kind of give a general synopsis and update on what the fire season generated for our unit and our county for 2025. So the fire season for this year was kind of what I would equate to in my tenure as an average fire season, which was much lower than what we've experienced in the last 5 years, which is a welcomed event. Essentially, we had about 140 vegetation fires that were within CAL FIRE's protection responsibility, of which they burned about 420 acres, give or take a few there. The largest one being the Peak Fire, which was just north of Susanville here, on Susanville Peak, was about 250 acres. And then a couple others up near Beaver, Muck Valley area, and the Lightning, they were around 50 acres. So generally speaking, very successful, I would say, in comparison to the previous 5 years. As far as what generated that, most of these were lightning generated. That's kind of what our communities endure in the summer months. So again, why I considered it an average year. We haven't had a lot of lightning in the previous years, but this year kind of brought us back to what we're typically accustomed to. To date, as far as what Asipsia generated, there are about 7,000 calls this year, which is up a little bit, but they're average generally around 6,500 calls a year. So again, we're a little bit above average there. To touch on what the department's change in our fuels program, and we've talked about that before, is kind of what the department and direction from the resources agency and our CAL FIRE director. We're continuing to push forward and build out that program. So for this year, up to date, treated acres, about 4,000 acres, combination of both burning and mechanized thinning, if you will. That program continues to evolve and is growing every month. Again, we're still learning and building it out as a unit, but we have partnerships with the Forest Service, BLM, Fire Safe Councils, RCDs. We're building that out every opportunity we have. So again, that one is continuing to expand. Some of the more notable projects we're working on, and they're generally partners with our Fire Safe Councils, fuel breaks in and around Westwood area, around Susanville, the west side of Susanville, behind Diamond Mountain with the Plymouth Forest above Janesville, and multiple ones in Big Valley. So again, coordinating with those entities and kind of aligning what our priorities are to help out our communities. And our main goal is to protect the population areas and the values at risk. Is kind of what our local priority here in Lassen County is. So, and then to kind of sum up a little bit with the fire season discussion, I know I spoke to you before about how our staffing model has changed, and we are staffed a lot longer than what we used to be. Historically, our seasonal staffing model was directly tied to fire season, the summer months, and now that has kind of diverged. So our upstaffing and seasonal component is not tied to fire season anymore. It's more tied to the calendar. And so the seasonal staffing model is basically 9 months, regardless of what the weather is. So March to December is when we bring on all of our seasonal staff. And if it's not fire season or not a wildland type environment, they're doing fuels work. And that's the priority and the goal for CAL FIRE as it stands right now. So I don't foresee that changing in the near future. And the benefit to the community is obviously the fuels component is a big piece of that, but also more equipment staff in the shoulder months of the summer months. So the outstations of Grasshopper, Happy Camp up in Modoc County, and Deer Springs in Modoc County will be staffed longer than they have in the past, and that will probably likely continue into the foreseeable future. Unless they get snow, then we'll bring them back in, and we can't get there, we'll bring them back into our battalion headquarters. So is there any questions on any of the numbers I just kind of threw out there to you guys before I jump into the next section?
Yeah, on your fuels projects, where do you do those at? And do you work with in conjunction? I mean, you on federal lands, you on private lands, you on state lands? And do you coordinate with other people like RCDs or fire safe councils or what?
The short answer is yes, yes, and yes. So CAL FIRE's main mission is on private lands. That's what we are, why we're here is protection of private land, private lands. But with the fuels project, it doesn't make sense to only treat one section of private lands when it's sitting next to a piece of federal lands, because now you have a continuous fuel break, if you will, to protect whatever that value is. So we partner with the Forest Service and BLM or that next landowner to try and get to that broader goal of having a continuous fuel break. So with Forest Service, yes. RCDs, absolutely. Fire safe councils, we coordinate and prioritize with them, if you will, on what they see as a project of value inside their own processes. And then we sit down and talk about, well, how that looks from our perspective, the lens of a firefighter, essentially. So yes, there's a broad discussion. You might be familiar with the CWPP process, Community Wildfire Protection Program. That process is what that is. It's us working with the fire safe councils to prioritize their projects to help us be successful in the event that we need to fire out. So yes, with the Forest Service, it's a little difficult. I shouldn't say difficult. It's different with the federal agencies because they have their rules and we have our rules. So trying to mesh those two together kind of gets cumbersome at times, but we're successfully getting there through a much higher level with Sacramento. And with the Plymouth Forest and the Lassen Forest and now the Modoc Forest, you're going to see a lot different, more positive impact when it comes to working with our federal partners. But I hope that kind of answered what you were. Okay, perfect. Anybody else? All right. So the real reason I'm here today is to essentially announce my retirement, which is not easy. But after about 38 years of doing this, and not this capacity, but I've stood in front of the board many, many times, worked in the OES position for the county for 5 years. And it was fun. And I don't want to make that sound a little odd because my job is not fun all the time. I'm tasked with a job that you guys empowered me to do, and that at times has very difficult components in it. that partnerships that the county has, the county staff goes behind me, made it so. So I'm not going to dig too deep in that because it's not easy. So with that, I selected my successor, which is Joshua Curran behind me. He will be is effective right now, but he will take full reins of all elements of the Cal Fire unit. The emergency services director for the county and the fire warden for the Lassen County. So that he will be the guy that will be working with you guys. And I have full faith and trust in his abilities to execute everything that you tasked us with from a local agency to a state agency. Full confidence that he will do exactly what you're expected and will take what we've built and take it to the next level. So my goal obviously was to leave it better than I found it. And I think that's what I've achieved. So with that, I will pass it up to Mr. Kern, if you can step up here, John, please. He can speak to himself, but he's a local, no different than I was. I am. He's been in this unit since he started as firefighter at age 18, no different than myself. So I think those small pieces and those relationships that he's established through his tenure are no different than what I was able to achieve with you guys. So with that, I think you guys will be very happy and very pleased with when we're taking the next phase of this. So I'll pass it to you, John.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, Board. Yes, just like Chief Ewing said, I'm very honored to have been selected by CAL FIRE to replace Chief Ewing. Like he was saying, I am a local high school graduate at Modoc High School, and I've been in this unit working in Lassen Modoc since 1996. And I've had the honor to be able to work all over the unit. I've been in almost every battalion in this unit, working with both Modoc and Lassen counties. And my passion is where I'm stayed. That's why I never left. You know, my family's from here, everything. So I'm here to serve, and I'm very honored. I also would like to take this moment for me personally to thank Chief Ewing for his mentorship and his guidance. Without him, I probably would not be standing here today in this position. He was very positive in my support and helped me along the way. So I don't anticipate the public or anybody to even recognize a transition between me and Chief Ewing. It should be very seamless. You guys, the phone number doesn't change. Feel free to call me questions, and I'm very honored to be here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Robo.
Eric, I just want to say thank you for your years of dedicated service to this community. You know, not only from CAL FIRE, but just as a person individually out in the community. I mean, you're an awesome person, you have an awesome family, and all you guys just give back to the community 1,000%. I just want to say thank you. You know, and I want to especially say thank you to mentoring Josh. I mean, Josh, I've known you for many years now, and you're the same way. You're involved in the community. You're coaching the kids. You're out at all the functions, and you're going to do that. And that's what makes it so awesome. Yeah. I really look forward to working with you, and like you said, it's probably going to be seamless. And you're a stand-up guy. I've known Josh a long time. He's a man of his honor. He's a man of honor and integrity. And just as Eric and Scott does too. I mean, it's awesome that we're so blessed up here in this small little segment. We have such great people. And so thank you guys for that. Forward to working. Enjoy your retirement.
Jason.
I just wanted to just going to be welcome the new Chief Josh aboard. Thank you. I'm confident if Eric took you under his wing and did everything to get you accustomed to your new job, that we're left in good hands. I want to thank Eric for all of his years of service when he was our Silas beforehand, and all the help that he's done with the special districts. Eric's always been a pleasure to work with, and always came forward whenever we needed help from Doyle Fire or any of the special district, just as Silas does. So I want to thank you for your hard work and dedication, and I hope you enjoy your retirement, Eric. Thank you.
Well, I'll start with you, Eric. Thank you. Leaving a job that you love is from the heart. That was obvious. And you treated it like you lived this job. You also took care of our community. all the problems that you could solve. And I'm very impressed with the gentleman that's gonna take your place. You got some big shoes to fill, but you look big enough to do. And after what Aaron said, you've got 100% of my confidence. So thank both of you and enjoy that retirement. You've more than earned it. Go and enjoy yourself. Thank you.
Okay, it's my turn. Eric, I just wanna thank you for all the hard work that you did for this community. You know, we can never repay you for everything that you've done, and I thank you for that. You know, he was a good mentor and helping the fairgrounds with their security policy and procedures down there. And you know, that's just one of the many things that you've done for this community, and I just thank you. And you know, I always say that I recommend retirement to everybody. And so you've well deserved it.
Don't recommend it to Charles, please.
No, it's good, and I know I'll see you because I'm lucky enough to have Eric as my neighbor. So thank you, and nice to have met you, and look forward to working with you.
Mr. Chairman, may I speak?
Yes.
Eric, I want to thank you. You're one of the most solid people I've ever known, and you're always there. Whenever I ask you to do something, you're there. And, you know, if I try to emulate somebody, it's somebody like you. It is you. You're just solid and you're always there, and I really appreciate it. And we've worked together a long time, and I would rather you stay on, but it's okay. It's okay. Go have fun. You're a great guy.
Thank you.
And I'll see you around.
All right. Thank you, Eric. Okay, we are going to move on to G. Is there anything?
G2, please.
G2. Okay. Is there anything else?
Okay.
G4.
G4. And I want to G5. Okay. If that's it.
Move approval of the balance.
Okay, Supervisor Alba moved to approve the balance, second by Supervisor Bridges. Is there anybody from the public? Seeing none, we'll bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. Okay, for G2.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I pulled this for the correction on page 8 of the person who made the second. I talked to the clerk about it and she's made those corrections. So with that, then.
Wait, I'm sorry. Which item was that, Aaron?
G2.
Supervisor Alba? No, oh, G2. Okay, thank you. I got that. I'm sorry. Carry on.
It was G2, what page?
Page
8. Okay.
But talked to the clerk about it and told her about it ahead of time, so she should have that correction made.
Awesome.
So with that, then I would move, approval of G2 with that correction.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Alba, second by Supervisor Bridges. Anybody from the public? Seeing none, bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. We're going to move to G4.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Don Willis, County Surveyor.
All right, how are you doing? Oh,
I'm doing great. How about you?
good. We never get to see you in here very often.
No, it's been a little slow.
My question for this one, on this one is why did this come before us? It was approved by the planning commission, and then why did it come to the board?
All parcel maps come before the board. It's basically you're approving the recordation of it, the filing of it. You were certified that all those conditions of approval have been met, and those have. So it's, every county does that as far as I know. Yeah, it's a standard thing.
Very good.
Any other questions? It's done, so it took, it took them, what, 18 months to complete what you guys had assigned for?
It took them quite a while. The applicant in this case got sick, so she didn't do a lot of things for a long time. And then, yes, it actually got an 18-month extension from the state, it's an automatic extension. So it's been over 2 years since this was approved by the planning commission. So yeah, most of it was because the applicant got sick. He just didn't have time and effort to work on this thing, so why it took so long.
It's normally a year, and then you get a 1-year extension.
No, it's normally 2 years on a parcel map. And then there are 3 extensions that they can apply for within the county. But in this case, the state stepped in because they're trying to improve the housing. So they gave automatic extensions to parcel maps that met certain criteria, which this one did. So yeah, we got an 18-month extension. She probably would have applied for it anyway, because she was mostly done when she got sick. And so she would have done it, but it would have cost her a little bit of money for the application fee to extend that. But in this case,
So with the state stepping in, and how long did somebody have to get done?
the state gave them an 18-month extension. So we would also have the 3 extensions of 18 months that we offer within the county here. So once that runs out, they still would have 3 more. They could get another 18 times 3.
Wow.
Potentially. So they can drag out for quite a while.
Long time, yeah.
Yeah. Unfortunately, I wish they would get done quicker.
So
That's how it is.
okay.
But in some cases, they have to do improvements. There's a lot of conditions of approval. So some projects are pretty complex. It takes about a while to get through all that. That's why they have that.
And none of our policies or procedures have changed during that 18-month period?
No, our subdivision ordinance was enacted back in 2022. So that was prior to this being approved. So no, nothing's changed.
Good. I move approval of item G4.
I second that.
Okay. Motion made by Supervisor Alba and second by Supervisor Scanlon. Is there anybody from the public? Seeing none, bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor? Opposed?
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, gentlemen.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board, Madam Clerk, Jen Branning, Chief Probation Officer. Today before you, you have our MOU with the Lassen Superior Court for pretrial services.
And we need this agreement with the courts for,
To provide for the pretrial services and pretrial supervision. The grants were awarded to the courts, and courts are, they have to contract with the county probation departments to provide for the pretrial services and supervision of people who have just been recently arrested pre-conviction. So we provide that supervision for them, and the money flows from the state to the courts and then to the probation departments. Should the probation department choose not to provide those services, then we would have to write a letter to the court refusing that, and then they would have to contract out with someone else. But we already do supervision and we're pretty good at it. And it's a huge benefit, especially with managing some of the population at the jail. That it's a really good way to make sure that somebody that you just don't really want to release because you're really afraid of what they may do, because they may do something more harmful. They release them on pretrial services and we supervise them to try to prevent that.
Does this cover your costs?
I haven't really penciled the cost out because it's just no different than what we already do. We already supervise a big population. This is just a pretrial population, and I can say that we get a bulk of the grant and the funding, and the court doesn't keep a lot of it. Sometimes they can keep up to 30%, but they've given us that in the past. So
I've just always found that the state always puts it back on the counties. Yeah, that's why I wanted to cover your costs or not.
right, and I haven't really penciled that out just because it's a benefit to our community and it's a benefit to the jail in making sure that we can manage the level and the average daily population there, and people who can manage and make it in the community and maybe get services early on can do that. These are typically people that are going to be placed on probation anyways. Sometimes they've been able to do a diversion out of it and divert people to where they never actually go to sentencing, which, you know, is a benefit and kind of saves money in other places. So I think in this one, in my mind, it's a lot of a wash.
That's good that the courts are actually helping you out with giving you extra 30% so they keep it for themselves.
Yes.
That's very pleasant to hear. So thank you for that.
It is. You know, we've really enjoyed a great relationship with the courts here lately. We've worked really hard to really plan things together and to see what can we do that's a benefit. How can we manage grants together? We applied for a grant for a different population with Prop 36 and for SUD. Unfortunately, just because of the position that we're all in with staffing, we weren't able to accept the grant, but we were awarded it. So some of the reporting and all of that was just going to be too much for all of the agencies involved. But it was really nice to continue to go through these processes and to really work together when we can for the benefit of our community.
Okay, on your compensation here, you have the $142,000 for 21 to 22, and then distributed out through 24. Is there something that maybe it should be 25 or?
There's a new agreement, but the agreement was to continue the grant and to continue receiving the money. But I know that initially, I believe the only person that was on the board at the time that we received the grant was Supervisor Alba. So we attached the old contract, which was the original one, just so that you guys would know what it is that we provide, what the court is expecting from us as the probation department. So there is a new grant, a new MOU to be able to sign. It's just a very shortened and condensed version. And I thought that being able to provide all of the information for everybody who's newer on the board was going to be better, so that you would be able to see it and reduce whatever questions you guys might have and you would know ahead of time.
So it's still the $142,000
Yes, sir.
distributed out for what, 3 years, I think?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we're not reapproving this one.
No, it's just the one that we're approving is one that references that.
Just being very efficient. Thank you.
Absolutely.
You're welcome. Just trying to give you guys the best information to make the best decision.
Well, you stumped.
And sometimes it does, but you know, I'd rather it stump somebody just a little bit than you guys not knowing what you're approving or what kind of decision you're making.
I appreciate it. Good package, it's educational for me.
Very efficient.
Thank you.
Okay, Supervisor.
Shouldn't you go back to the state and get another 3.1% COLA?
You know, I wish that we could, but honestly, our statewide association, which I'm a past president of, I don't know how many of you guys know that. We are really advocating for pre-trial funding, for Prop 36 funding, and for our SB 678 funding, because those sources have not been really looked at for a long time. Prop 36, as you all know, the new Prop 36, because there's an old one still. The new Prop 36 is not funded, and it does create some workload for us, and I believe that, you know, it should be funded. So we're really advocating for those three things right there. And if you guys are interested at all in the things that we that our statewide association is advocating for, I can leave a legislative platform in your guys' boxes so that you could read those. And if you have any questions, you can call me.
Yeah, you should get that so you can give it to our CRC.
Yeah,
They have it, and CSAC has it. The state associations send it out to the county family, is basically what we call it, which is to the state sheriff's association, CSAC, RCRC, CPOC. I know that there's others, but I can't think of all of them right now.
But make sure and get with Supervisor Bridges, because he should be, when he's at the CSAC meeting, he should be helping you out with that, and the same with Supervisor Albaugh.
Okay.
You know, that's why we elected them to hang on to those positions, to make sure that our county is being represented.
And now that I know that those are important too, I'll make sure that whenever they come out, I provide them.
Thank you.
and so
You're welcome.
do you guys go through and have a list of all the unfunded mandates that you guys are responsible for?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
We're currently exploring the funding for unfunded mandates and how the process to take a claim through to the state is very cumbersome. And it's almost too much work for the effort for a small county.
Right.
So we're currently trying to find some larger counties that can do that work, that it benefits them, because it only takes one county to go through the whole test claim process to be able to get the SB 90 funding back when you do things like that.
Yeah, so when you get that list, I mean, or if you had that list or you already have it, that would be awesome to give to Gary and I just for our information, even though it does go to RCRC, just so we can have it.
But they can check on them
Yeah.
when they're down at those meetings and see where along the process they are. And that's what we need. Yes,
It's a very long list, just so you know.
Absolutely.
It's probably about 50 pages. Okay.
Because I know that without RCRC and CSAC, you wouldn't have a chance.
You know, all of together, we have a much better chance. And so
Right.
what we do at the state level is make sure that we communicate with all of our partners so that we can all be on the same page. We've really alerted CSAC and RCRC to quite a few different things over the years that may be problematic, especially for rural counties. Most recently with SB 707, we have a lot of legislative meetings that we run that are governed by the Brown Act.
That's
So
a yes.
that's going to be difficult for some of us to be able to pull off, because even though they have that 30,000 population number that's out there, we fall just below that at 28, which I don't think it's going to withstand, you know, further review. And eventually it's going to have to be everybody that does it and meets those new requirements for the general public. So it'll be interesting to.
Did you get to listen in on RC or the CRC meeting yesterday?
Yes, I did.
It's gonna be recorded, so I'm gonna have to listen to it a couple of times.
Yes,
It's intense.
yes, it is.
Thank you, Jan.
You're welcome.
Anybody else? Anybody from the public? All right, bring it back up here for a motion.
Approval by the G5.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Alba,
Second.
second by Supervisor Bridges. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay.
Thank you. Have a great day. Happy
Thank
holidays.
you. Okay, we're going to move to H1.
Good morning, John McGarvis, Sheriff Coroner. First item I'm here for to present to you guys today is we are working through some documentation and approvals to accept funding for the Edward Byrne Memorial Justice Assistant Grant. It's grant and its amendments fund a lot of our youth services programs. And when we get to the tobacco program in the agenda, I've got my ladies here to talk about all that they do. And I can't say enough about them. They do a phenomenal job for the county. But what we needed for this one was an updated board resolution in order to accept the information. That old resolution was passed in 2023, and it still had our prior CAO, Richard Egan, as the authorized signer or acceptor of any grants. So we needed to update the resolution to the current gentleman, Maurice Anderson, to be able to sign for those things. So I'm looking for an updated resolution to send to BSCC so we can get the grant funding moving.
Well, so you got an awesome staff.
They do. They do an amazing job.
You brought in the 18, didn't you?
I did. They are actually extremely good at updating me on what's going on. And they do all of the work that comes into these things. I might have to come in and do the speaking and ask for the permission and the acceptance, but these are really the ladies that do all the legwork. So,
Yeah, they make you look good.
well, I appreciate that too.
And they make your job easier.
They do actually in a lot of ways. I mean, since we're talking about them, I can bring them up now. I mean, if you guys wonder, if you want to wait till the tobacco program, we can do it then, but.
So we're gonna do
Just one first.
I have several items, but they all have to be done separately.
They're both H1, so we're gonna do the resolution first.
Yes.
Is that right? And then do the other H1 for the budget?
H1, H2,
And then I have 4 items on here.
there's 4, and just a reminder that H2 and H4 require 4/5 vote.
H1 is just a resolution. So I would move to approve the resolution accepting the award for the Burn JAG program, authorizing CEO to sign for funding.
I'm second that.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Alba, second by Supervisor Scanlon. Is there anybody from the public? Seeing none, bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
You're on a roll.
Well, then we'll start with the next one. So this part is for the funding. What brought on the resolution of the need to bring on an additional one is, or the updated changes is we had applied for an equipment grant through the JAG program. The ladies put on the miles on cars and they need to have a reliable ride and one that's sustainable plus be properly equipped. They're supposed to have radio communication and different things like that, and they have to do it by handheld. And with the topography of Lassen County, it's difficult with a properly equipped car to get out on the radio a lot of the times, let alone someone using a handheld, basically like this, to try and get out through a car out of, sometimes they go to Little Valley for truancy or absentee checks, or all the way out to the backside of Turtle Mountain. Just depends what we need them to do. And honestly, you'd be better off with a carrier pigeon in some of these areas rather than a handheld radio. So We got those two. So this amount is gonna go into the budget 1820544 in the amount of $21,915, and it's to upgrade equipment, and we're working towards getting them a new vehicle, which they're in the process of. You guys will probably see something, or the CAO will see something on that probably in early January, because we think we can get a pretty good cost on that may not have to come here. So I'm asking for an approval to increase the revenue amount in that budget unit.
Yeah,
I got just a trivia question for you. On page 3 of that supporting document, it's got special department expense, 22,790. What's special departmental expense? Oh, wait.
I'm seeing it, and I'm trying to recall that number in my mind. Just to give you guys an idea, I manage 22 separate budget units, so I have to actually
What kind of number? It's 3000.
No, I know, but I got the number and I got it right here. Maybe Nikki or Bridget can give me a better idea of
What was it?
special departmental expense, 22,790. But I think it's for those add-ons, the different.
So the way that the JAG budget goes, they have different line items, so sometimes we have to put things into line items like that to match what the JAG budget.
So it's like a miscellaneous thing? Or
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, so because the county has to pay me, so sometimes I'm in a different line item for the budget.
And Nikki's definitely worth her money.
What's you thought me to ask you hard questions, but what about the contributions at the very bottom line? What are contributions like?
Those are contributions. Those are things that go out. Those would pay for some of the costs of Miss Gerald. They also pay for some of the other costs they have to pay into just infrastructure costs. It might be costs that include memberships in associations, different things too. We kind of tend to lump those all for that purpose.
Okay.
But mainly, it's a lot of it's to pay back towards what we essentially rent a CSO from the PD to participate in this program.
All right. So it's not money coming in, it's money going out.
Yes, if it's a 300, it's going out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
okay, so you, it's two positions? Is that,
No, this is just to buy equipment. This is an increase in our equipment line.
well, you have FTEs at the bottom of.
Well, we attach the entire budget to this one.
Okay.
So that way you guys, the same thing as your previous item earlier, for a reference on what the money is and where it's going and what it is. You guys have actually already approved this budget itself. At the
2.5 years. We've had this for 2.5 years already.
This is an increase. We got this as an additional funding of the 21,000. We came and discussed it with you guys and you guys approved it. The problem is we didn't have a place to put it in the budget packet that we gave you. So this is a cleanup item. So that way we can actually put it somewhere and spend it. Right now it's floating in budget land.
That doesn't happen often.
That's a technical term you learned from Sam.
It is.
You get to it for this world, dude.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, we're just trying to make sure everything is dialed and done appropriately and correctly. And we've been working hard with the auditor's office, especially on sheriff's office budgeting. That's why a lot of these items you're seeing today are essentially kind of cleanup and transparency items to make sure that everything is where it's supposed to be. So that's what this is about today, is we're in here trying to make sure we have everything documented correctly. And in the interest of transparency, I'll tell you, it won't be the last time you see me in here in the next few months trying to do things like this. As we're finding these things, we're trying to get them corrected.
You need a motion?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve the appropriation and revenue increase in the amount of $21,915 to fund budget unit number 1820544. Be a 4/5 vote required for the total appropriation of $406,953.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Bridges, seconded by Supervisor Ingram. Is there anybody from the public? Okay.
Let's do a
Bring
roll call.
back up here for a roll call vote.
Supervisor Scanlon,
Yes.
Supervisor Bridges.
Yes.
Supervisor Alba,
Aye.
Supervisor Ingram,
Aye.
Supervisor Neely.
Yes.
Thank you, I appreciate it. This one is all good news, and well, it's mainly good news. It's gonna cause it. I'll talk about that here in a minute, but it was time for us to renew and apply for the Tobacco Prevention and Education Grant. And this is the grant that goes around where we do either shoulder tap operations or decoy operations at stores that sell tobacco. And try and make sure they're enforcing the rules properly, they're not selling to minors, they're not doing those things. I could sit up here and tell you about the program, but I'd rather bring up the three ladies that do it. The program is managed mainly by Bridget Skillingsam, one of my YSOs. She does all the grant management for this program and everything else. And then we'll talk about our YSO program, which all three of them participate in, but Nikki Gerald from the police department and our recent addition this last year, Jessica Goney, who I've managed to recruit back into our fold, who's with us for a long period of time. I will let them come up and talk about the program because they can do it a lot more eloquently than I can.
Can you,
Thank you,
can
Chef.
you guys state your name for the record, please? Thank you.
Nikki Gerald.
Jessica Goney.
Bridget Skillingstad.
Mr. Chairman, members of the board, I just want to give you guys a little update on what we do in the prevention program. Some of you are familiar with it. Some of you are new to the program. Our prevention team consists of the three of us. There's two YSOs from the sheriff's office and myself from the police department. And we make the prevention team. So what that means is we teach at every public school in Lassen County, along with two of the larger charter schools. So in the fall, we go out to Big Valley, Westwood, Hurlong, and Doyle. We go out 12 weeks in a row. We teach them a different lesson every week. Then we test them on at the end, build that relationship with the kids. In the fall, we serve about 130 to 150 kids every week. In the spring, we do our local section. We do Richmond, Janesville, Johnstonville, Schaefer, and Diamond View, and we serve about 560 to 580 kids every week. Because all of Diamond View is a big school. It takes us a whole day just to teach all the kids at Diamond View. We teach them about all kinds of things, substance abuse, how to deal with their anger, their anxiety. Are the eighth graders, they get a building healthy relationships curriculum about recognizing red flags in other people, your own behavior in family relationships. This year, we just started offering a lunchtime diversion class at Lassen High School. We're really happy to get into Lassen High School. So once a week, we go in, all the kids who got in trouble the week before for vaping, we go in and have a lunchtime date with them once a week and talk about all this stuff about vaping. We also offer more in-depth diversion classes. Kids who've had their first contact with law enforcement, they come to us for an 8-hour class. They're with us all day long, and we get down and dirty with everything that's going on in their lives and how we can help them work through some of that decision-making process. We've kind of got all of the officers and deputies now out there out with kids who've had trauma, kids not necessarily in trouble. They'll call us and say, hey, are you available? We can respond with them and help the kid through whatever they might be going with. Most of the principals now, if they have trouble with a kid, they don't call dispatch anymore. They'll call us and see if we're available. Most times in the schools, they don't need a deputy or officer to respond. They need someone like us to kind of be that bridge and help the kids through whatever they're going through.
Did any of you other ladies have anything?
We all know that I like to talk, let's be honest. We all know that. And some of us we inherited that gene.
All right.
I just want to thank you girls for everything that you do. My kids love seeing you week in and week out. And I love the special, if you get in trouble, 8-hour class on the weekend.
Yep.
This is for special people, kids that get caught vaping at school. They offer an 8-hour class on the weekend. So I'm sure the parents do not appreciate their kids doing that. And I'm sure everything rolls downhill from there. So thank you, girls.
Thank you.
All the kids love you.
Yes, Mr. Hollow.
You know, they do a good job. You know, they go to Big Valley, like they say, and my daughter comes home and tells me I need to quit chewing because so anyway, so they're very effective, almost too effective to my liking sometimes. But you know, you guys do a good job. It's always nice to see you guys shining, smiling faces up there. The kids love you guys and see you guys are doing a good job. So Keep them where they're at. What they're doing.
I have to compliment you on the team you picked. I know three of these, out of these three ladies, I know two of them very well. One was my neighbor and I've known the other one since she's a toddler. And they're hooked into our community. They care and it shows. And not only are they doing this because it's their job, but it's from the heart and it shows to the kids. So
That's right.
like Supervisor Albaugh said, you know what? You're being very effective. I know Izzy. She'll get him to quit someday. Thank you so much.
Maybe you should send him to Saturday school.
Yeah. We do need you, don't worry, we need you.
That's good. Well, thank you, ladies, for your work. I think it's a really good program. Having worked street level narcotics for many years, that all starts to be a easier start now.
Absolutely.
So I think it's a really good investment.
Anybody else? Okay, well, I just want to say that that I know Nikki and Jessica, and they are carrying on a family tradition in Lassen County. So, you know, their granddad and dad were in law enforcement. So, you know, once again, I appreciate people that grew up here, understand what's going on in Lassen County. And you can see the results of two. And I'm not familiar with you, but I just want to recognize that. Thank you.
With that, I'd like to make a motion to approve the proposed resolution accepting the award from the California Department of Justice and authorize the chairman to execute the memorandum of understanding with the Department of Justice.
I'll second it.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Scanlon, second by Supervisor Bridges. Is there anybody from the public? Okay, seeing none, bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor,
Aye.
opposed? Okay, motion passes.
All right, my last one, this one I'll have to take full responsibility for. So I told you I managed 22 budget units. Unfortunately, I managed 21 of them made it to the board. As we were going through and trying to allocate funding for the communications grant, we noticed that that particular budget line had not been approved by the board. So that's what this is. And to give you some background on our communications grant, this is a federal grant that's being managed by our office and with Plumas County in order to improve our mountaintops and our mountaintop repeaters, all of those things, all the infrastructure on several locations. The original premise was to be able to, convert Dyer Mountain into a multiple agency repeater and work off of that. Some of that's fallen by the wayside on the Plumas side. However, we are continuing to move forward. We've already bought new handhelds. This Motorola, this APX 8000 is one of them that we had gotten. It's got the ability it's got an extender. We have vehicle repeaters in our cars, so our vehicle basically becomes a mobile repeater, and we're able to connect to the car and connect out with more power in some of those outlying areas where we don't have good communication. This was a 4-year grant and it was accepted by the board when it came out. But what we didn't do for the allocation this year is we have the budget that we didn't get through, and that is budget 1850547 that allows us to be able to appropriate the revenue and in that budget unit and expend it as appropriately. We're coming into year 3.5 of that grant right now. Year 4 will be the last year of our grant. We left that as an open year in our grant cycle, so that way we can make sure we had plenty of time to catch up on any projects that didn't move through. So what I'm asking for today is an approval of this appropriation for this budget.
Okay, question.
Yeah, this is in conjunction with Plumas County and, it was, they're the one in charge of this, right? Or
No, we are.
You are. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
They report to us and then we upload their request into the federal system. And then the funding is dispersed and it comes back down.
and you guys think you'll get it all spent?
Well, I don't know that we'll get it all spent because Plymouth has had to modify their project since this had came out. But we're gonna have the lion's share of it's gonna get spent.
That's awesome. And it is great for both departments. I mean, it's great.
And we already have interoperability with Plymouth now, as it stands now, and this is something maybe you guys may be aware of already, but you know, when our dispatch gets overwhelmed, our 911 calls and our frontline calls get rolled over to Plymouth to answer, so that way there's no calls going unanswered and vice versa. So they had a major communications issue last year. They were able to we were able to pick up some of their slack. Excuse me. Same goes the other way. If we get inundated with a wildfire like we did with this one uptown and the 911s just blow up, they roll over to Plymouth, they pick them up, they patch them back to us, and they can, you know, communicate that way. Excuse me. Anyway, it really has increased our regional interoperability with that agency. They actually have the ability to come onto our nets and talk, or we can talk on theirs and we can make it work. We had an issue with a repeater, the Hamilton repeater last year over towards Westwood, and we had to spend about a month communicating directly with their dispatch from Westwood through the Dyer repeater. So we have an amazing relationship with Williams County Sheriff's Office, and our dispatch centers are always talking. Well, a little off topic, but we are working on another project right now to upgrade our software that's reached end of life, and all of it's about interoperability and maintaining that. And it's really been really an asset for both agencies since we were able to do that. Back to this project, this will put hardware in place that will get us through. It should get me through the remainder of at least my career, if not well into the next. So, and I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
I never know how to interpret those kind of compliments, you know.
So in full transparency, I'm not looking at that at this point. I mean, I'm thinking 15 years down the road. They should still maybe. That would be up to Lassen County. But I mean, with that, I would request that this be appropriate, that you guys approve the appropriation.
All right, so because you've already came to us and we approved it several months ago, right?
No,
Everything but this.
everything but this got approved.
Okay.
That's why I said I have to take full responsibility for this.
You're
not
doing
getting done the
cleanup,
first
too.
time. This is a cleanup. It's money that's grant. Because I thought I remembered the grant money and you had got Plymouth's so this has been going on.
department in here and.
That's been a minute. So that had been approved, but when we redid the budgets for this year, this one got left out. It's the same project, you're correct, but it has not been approved for this budget year yet. The budget allocation. That's what I'm here to ask for today. Yes, the project's all approved and you guys have already done all that. And you're absolutely correct, Mr. Chairman, about those things. But we didn't approve the revenue and the allocation in the budget to be expended or the revenue to be to be used. So this is a cleanup item to make sure that we have this budget in there. We got 21 out of my 22 budgets made it. This one was an oversight and it didn't make it. I'll take full responsibility for that. And that's why I'm here now to say, please do it. Now,
It got dropped
Appreciate
out
it.
of this budget year.
yeah, they just got left off this budget cycle and I'm asking for it to be added back on.
With that, I'll make a motion to approve the appropriation and the revenue increase for fund budget unit number 1850547 for fiscal year 25-20 or 2025 to 2026 in the amount of $1,147,477 with a 4/5 vote, and provide direction to staff.
I'll second that.
Okay, Supervisor Bridges made the motion, Supervisor Scanlon second. Is there anybody from the public? Any more discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor?
Let's do
Aye.
roll call.
Oh,
Roll call.
Supervisor Scanlon,
Yes.
Supervisor Bridges.
Yes.
Supervisor Alba,
Aye.
Supervisor Ingram,
Aye.
Supervisor Neely.
yes.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you for your understanding and appreciate your time. I took up plenty of it today.
Hey,
so-
John, I got one favor.
Yes, sir.
Have a Merry Christmas.
You guys do the same. Have a good one.
Okay. Do we want to do H5 or do we want Tiffany to, come out?
That's your pleasure.
Okay, fine.
H5,
We'll take 5 and then we will go to Tiffany.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, we're live.
Okay, we're going to move to H6. Tiffany.
Good morning, Chairman and any members, everybody. So I'm just here for H6, H7, and H8. H6 is for an amendment. Unfortunately, I did not catch that we had put the wrong date. So if you look at the approval, this is an amendment to correct the term dates from February 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2026 to change it to July 1st of 2025 to June 30th of 2026. So I'm just here today to correct that. I didn't catch it when it went through, unfortunately, so.
Just a good week, huh?
I guess not. We have so many contracts going through that I must have missed it at one of the meetings.
Tiffany, all I can say is to know your humor.
I'm gonna make sure I do better to catch that, so. How I go through, I don't know.
It
So.
is what it is. There's no questions. I'll make a motion to receive the recommendation. Oops, wrong one.
Yeah, there's no changes to the scope of work, payment, or anything. It's just changing. the
Approved.
dates.
Okay, approve the First Amendment agreement with the Community Medical Specialists Incorporated and authorize the CAO Administrative Officer to execute the amendment.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Bridges, second by Supervisor Alba. Anybody from the public? Seeing none, bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passing.
So I'll be doing the same thing for H7, same company, same issue. I have to change the date from February 1st of 2025 through June 30th of 2026 to correct the terms of July 1st, 2025 through June 30th of 2026. So just changing the date.
Okay, I'll make a motion to approve the First Amendment to the agreement with the Community Medical Specialists Incorporated and authorize the county administrative officer to execute the agreement or the amendment, I'm sorry.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Bridges, second by Supervisor Alba. Anybody from the public? Seeing none? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
I'll try to do better for you next time.
Motion
There's
passed.
so many dates. Oh my goodness. I should have caught that one. So
Okay, we are on to 8.
So this is H8. This is a contract agreement between us and Kingsview Professional Services. This is the company that provides our electronic health record system. Not only our electronic health record system, but our billing system. So anything and everything that our staff provide in terms of services goes into our system for the actual records. And then, of course, and then it goes into the billing system, then it gets directly billed into the state system. So we're going to continue to use Kingsview. We've been very happy with them. They've been a very professional company. We meet with them every other Tuesday to go over just logistical stuff, issues that might pop up, if there's anything that has to be corrected or modified. So I feel like them having good response with us and us response to them. Any work tickets that we put in with them are immediately within 72 hours are corrected, or at least giving us an update of when they'll be corrected. So for the past almost year and a half, 2 years now, we've been very impressed with using Kingsview as their electronic health record system.
With those kind of results from a company, that makes your job a lot easier, I'm
Oh,
quite sure.
goodness, tell me about it.
I know you're busy and a half, on a slow day.
Yeah, and I have to say, this was kind of one of those things. We went out a couple of years ago to get an electronic health record system, and it failed miserably after 7 months. So I had to go in the midnight hour, ask for another company to kind of step up, correct what the previous company didn't do, which is any of our billing for 7 months, and then continue with billing going forward. So Kingsview in the middle of the night had agreed and says, yes, we will step up. So I have to give them kudos that they actually took on a mess from the very beginning, corrected our mess, and then was able to continue to move forward. So I'm very happy with it. We're also in a coalition with other counties who use the same product. So if anytime I'm having an issue, or if there's something that is a collective amongst ourselves, then we all pitch in and help provide costs to it.
Further scan?
I'm glad that, this contract is working out good for you. But I got a question about the contract itself. On, page 4 of the contract, or page 6 of the PDF, depending on what you're looking at. It's got the warranties. And then on page 7, the second paragraph under Article 5, I guess, D. Contractor makes no warranty that the functions performed by the software product will meet the county's requirements or achieve the results desired by the county, or will operate in the combination that they may be selected for use by the county. They're kind of saying they may or may not ever work. They go on to describe all the stuff they'll do, but that paragraph seemingly would nullify the contract almost. I mean, it's like, why is it in there?
Yeah, and I'm sorry, what page were you on again? I just want to make sure I'm reading it.
It's actually page 5 of the actual contract.
Okay.
It's the second paragraph from the top.
Thanks to warranty, okay.
Under B.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is a council question or.
It probably is. So that is a very, very standard contract in software as a service contracts. And my experience, I haven't looked at this particular one, but my experience is they won't let you change it.
We're gonna buy a product from you, but it may or may not work and you can't do anything about it.
Well, and that's part of the reason why they put in what steps they will take. I mean, yes, they don't warrant it's going to work, but there are specific steps that they will to take to try to make it work. So it doesn't completely void the contract in that sense, because they are agreeing we're going to make it work if we at all can, but it's their little out that they are reluctant to change, and it's in every SaaS contract I have seen in the last 5 years, I guess.
Just to answer to your question, though, that's what got us into trouble with the FEI contract, because they could not make the contract that we had with FEI, could not make the product work. So after 7 months, and I said, why can't you do this? I said repeatedly, you have to make this work. I cannot run a department without an EHR system. And then they went, oh, so sorry, you have to give us more money or whatever the excuse was. And I said, I'm done with you. That's why we went to Kingsview. They cannot always guarantee that the product will work. But what they do is they have safeguards. That's why we meet with them on a regular basis to say, hey, this is what's going on. This is the issue that we're facing. Here's a work ticket. Is other counties who are also involved in your same product, are they having the same issue? And then we work as like a coalition and kind of addressing the term. So it's not just always Lassen. There's other folks that are using the same exact product that we are, and that we can use it as kind of our defense system and say, it's not just Lassen. There's 6 other counties that are also using it and have also the same issues.
So what you did at that point is withhold the money.
Correct. Or
It
terminate contract.
Yeah, it would still be potentially a termination of the contract or something to that effect.
So Tyler needs to take up that stand.
Well, I know, it says in the contract that the county basically owns the information.
Correct.
Where's that information stored though?
So we're working with them right now to have a data dumps on a regular basis. We will always have that. We didn't do that with our previous contract, and that's a mistake that we will never face again. We're just working it out with Kingsview, how we want to go about it. On a quarterly basis, they do a data dump for us. Now, data dumps are nothing pretty. It's just a big zeros and ones, but we can have an analyst still go in and try to sort through it. But a lot of our stuff is still scanned in, so we'll have access to it. But again, 100% no guarantee, but we are putting some safeguards in place for that.
By data dump, you mean like a backup?
Correct.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because we don't ever want to go through what we went through with FEI system. That was miserable. Absolutely miserable.
How long have we been using this thing?
For about 2 years now, maybe a little over 2 years.
And the state is happy with all the reporting and billing?
Yes.
Everything is fine.
Yes, they've been extremely happy. Prior to that, the systems that we had previously, ShareCare, FEI, could not do any of the reporting. We were still hand doing Excel reports to the state. And since we've had Kingsview, everything has been caught up. Everything that we submit to the state has been spot on. Is what the state says. Thank you. Because the state has been saying you have to get a better EHR system that can actually do the data that we need or require to submit to them. So we've been extremely happy with it. And our analysts are extremely happy with the product too. I think the best thing is that we have immediate communication with them. I can pick up the phone and say, hey, this is what's going on. This is the issue. I can either put in a work ticket if it's something that you know, it can take a couple of days, or hey, this is a serious issue. I need to be able to get this access of this data to submit to the state for the audits. So been very happy with it. But the one thing I will say is the best thing is the billing portion of it. That's been the most helpful for us.
Going back to Mike's question, under insurance and the general contract, you have workers' comp, general liability, automobile liability, and cyber liability. All the above have a certain dollar amount, but the cyber liability doesn't. Why is that? I mean,
That is a
I don't know.
very good question. It should.
it says said liability should have sufficient limits to cover the entirety of the contract. Well,
Well, that's gonna be, yeah, that leaves it a little open to at least what we're paying, but I mean, it could be a bigger. Do we know what cyber liability they have? Have they provided us that?
Yeah, they actually have given it to us that we've had their, I call it their disaster preparedness plan, that in case of cyberbullying, something, the world comes to an end, they have a booklet that they gave us that we reference. It's just more about how do we get access to that data, not so much about the cyberbullying or the cyber attacks kind of thing. I mean, they have safeguards all over the place. I mean, it's.
But have they provided us with their coverage of their insurance?
Now that, I mean, the coverage of the insurance, yes, because we couldn't have the contract with them.
Okay, do we know how much cybersecurity insurance they have?
That I don't know.
Because without seeing what that coverage is, I don't know what they have.
I know that's,
Yeah.
it's very generic and subjective. I
It
mean,
is.
I don't know. And I think you want to have your basics covered. I mean,
Absolutely.
Is
also-
this time sensitive, Tiffany?
We like to pay them, but that's,
I mean, that's also something we could do with an amendment.
as long as you got something, an addendum or something, I mean, just.
Yeah,
We
we
can
can,
come back
we,
and
we
do
could
it
bring
again.
it back as an amendment and, amend the insurance with a specific dollar figure. If that's the board direction from the board.
Okay. And then the other question is, how come we have to be an endorsement, or they have to be an endorsement on our liability insurance? That's on insurance number 4B. County agrees French contractor with a copy of an endorsement to the county's liability insurance policy, naming the contractor as additional insured. Why are we insuring them? For $1 million.
but I don't know.
Yeah, it usually would be the other way.
Yeah.
The very bottom of that, page 3.
Which page again? I'm sorry.
Page 3,
Great.
very bottom.
I'll have to get back to
And
you.
then the cyber liability is just right above that.
So,
If it needs to be corrected, we can correct it in the same amendment.
But I think the contract needs to be looked back over by council.
Yeah, page 5, the disclaimer.
I mean,
Crazy.
we start having those kind of questions.
I agree.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind council looking at it either. It's right underneath Mike's concern is their disclaimer. And it just writes off everything. It just, this disclaimer exempts them from any wrongdoing whatsoever.
so yeah, we can have the county council go back over it again and review it with their legal team and see what happened and see what we can do.
Is that gonna get you okay till after first you go look at it?
Well, when they do. I mean, if I could, I would appreciate to go ahead and approve it now and then us coming back with an amendment, if that's all possible.
Well, if we approve it, we're signing it, and it's
We
binding.
We
us.
approve it for 30 days.
I mean, if we approve it, we're approving it. However, the direction is to bring it back for amendments. I mean, it's pretty clear that should be able to be done by the first meeting in January, I would think.
Let's do that. That's my vote.
Can you repeat the direction?
Bring it back.
Bring it back for the first meeting in
Okay.
next year.
With questions to
With the
the
questions and
answers to the
amendments.
questions that Mike brought up and that I brought up and Jason.
Thank you.
So just for clarification, it's on page 3 of 68 under insurance, cyber liability, which is under the A4. 3 of 68 would be item B under 4.
Yep.
And then Mike's question was on page 5 of 68, item number 5, small b. And then also on page 5 of 6B, the disclaimer. Correction of the rules.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it. I'll be back. Thank you. Merry Christmas. Thank you.
Have a Merry Christmas, Tiffany. Definitely.
Looking at it, just direction.
Which direction?
Okay.
Tiffany? Okay, we are going to move on to H5.
H5, thank you, Mr. Chairman. The fair manager was unable to be here. I'm gonna pinch hit for him. You have before you a contract, a 3-year contract for carnival services at fair time. There was an RFP released in December. The company Wold Amusement was the only one that responded to the RFP. They have been our carnival people for the last 6 years. And the Fair Advisory Committee recommends that you approve this. They've been doing a satisfactory job according to all involved. And so the ask today is to approve the contract and authorize the chairman to execute the contract.
I had a
Go ahead.
question.
Yes.
I wish Bill was here to answer the question I'm about to ask you. But on the contract on attachment number C, as in Charlie, and the very first point, first line there, it says contractor will provide 150 wristband passes for unlimited complimentary rides for the duration of the fair. And I think that's a very nice thing. But my question is, where did those go last year? And we've had some discussion related to this about benefits to different groups, including the advisory board. And could we not, as a board, if we so agreed, this is not public funds, this is a contractor given a promotional gift, if you will, back to the county. Could we direct the fair board manager in his own discretion, perhaps to distribute 50 of those to the fair advisory board, kind of part of the discussion we've had in the past. And I don't know what to do with the other 100, but I mean, at least get those folks those wristbands. And that alleviates some of the discussion we've had in the past. They're actually getting a perk or a benefit or something like that.
Yeah, so
It's not public funds, is what I'm getting at.
I agree with you that I wish Bill was here.
Yeah.
So there's some distinction between what's offered to musical carnival versus employees and volunteers. Where that line is, we're sussing that out. You know, we're the board is in earnest trying to figure that out. I would say that I believe that this has been a standard practice for this company to get those wristbands. But I can't speak with full authority on that. So I don't think this is time sensitive. I think we could revisit this next year. And we could have an item before it that is just more of an open discussion on this topic versus the contract itself. So that would be my recommendation, is to table this to the first meeting in January. And we'll have a healthy Mr. Pear here who can respond more appropriately than I can.
No, I agree with you, but I just see this as kind of a solution to some of the discussion. Yeah, we've had in the past, and so.
Okay, solution.
Chair, I also have a comment. I think it'd be important to know how much they're valued at.
15,000. They're $100 for a week long wristband times 150.
So they're $100.
Yep.
Each. So somebody's getting benefits of $100.
That's $15,000.
Then you might have some other issues involved.
That's why I'd like to.
It's part of the contract, but that's a real dollar amount.
Yeah, but if that's the dollar amount, I mean, it's
It
usually
isn't going to, all
$50,
goals aren't
so-
going to the fair board. I know that.
No, they're not. I don't think anyone.
No, I don't think any-
Argument's sake.
I'm seeing it as a solution that they're not receiving county funds. They're receiving a donation from a private party.
But could it be considered a gift
Right.
of $100
From who though?
from this organization?
Well,
Well, they can get
that
whatever
doesn't,
they
that
want.
doesn't matter to me.
But it might, because if they're the advisory board and they're serving in that capacity, then it could be considered a gift in excess of $50, and then we might have some.
What are they supposed to, if the contractor gives 150 of those wristbands to the county, what's the county supposed to do with them if they don't give them to somebody?
We can do what we want with it.
To an extent, but I mean, for example, say that you decided to give them to your family members, well, then there'd be issues with that PPC.
And you don't know for a fact that they're $100.
I do.
They do, that's retail value. There could be not retail value in those 150s.
All I'm saying is I buy two
Oh,
every year.
I know.
$200.
I know, but that is, once again, that's retail value.
I think
Well, I'm just curious,
It's a
if
good
someone
question.
donates those to the county,
Can I get them for less than retail?
if someone donates those to the county,
No.
what's the county supposed to do with it?
Right.
I want to hear that.
Well, I mean, I think there is some discretion in who you're gonna donate it to, but I think you have to look at it carefully based on the dollar figure. That's my advice.
I propose that we speak on this in January
That's
and
fine.
have a preceding agenda topic that we can freely talk about all aspects of where this is going. And then also have the contract as a subsequent item.
And can I bring up one more thing to you, Lori, that you could talk to Bill about so we can get some clarity on it for January?
If it's on topic.
It's definitely on topic. Couple years ago, the zipper fell apart, and there's no way they had 9 major ride types operating the whole time at fair. So for argument's sake, if they don't have 9 major ride types, what is their fine for not providing that? This is on A1. A.1, it doesn't really have a page underneath rides. But there's no real consequence for not coming through with the 5 spectacular ride types, the 9 major ride types, and the 8 kiddie types of rides. Because I know that was one of the biggest complaints with the kids, is how come there wasn't that many rides last year, and then the zipper fell apart the year before. So I just want to bring that up as well.
Okay. We'll pencil that in.
Yes.
The world of amusements, I mean, you know the problem. I mean,
No, I usually don't know because I'm always wrong.
but they come in
And
and
whatever there's,
say they've come in and bailed us out. A couple of years ago, we didn't have a carnival. They come in and I think they've served the county well and they've done us good. As far as the extra tickets go, or the wristbands, I think a lot of those are used for promotion and giveaways for advertising and promotion. And I think that's where some of those go to. I'm kind of.
That's the
speculating.
premise. And then,
Yeah.
same thing with the music. Whoever we hire, they usually, get a certain amount as well to do their promotional stuff.
Right, and giveaways on the radio,
Hmm.
acceptance. I think that's where some of those go. I don't know. I mean, it seems like we could almost make that determination after the contract sign. I don't think we have to have it done before the contract sign. My humble opinion. I don't know.
That'd be just a discussion with the fair manager. But I'm okay with signing the contract as it is. So I'm all right to.
Was that a motion?
I'd like to make a motion, that we, have to get back to my screen here real quick, sorry. Make a motion, to receive the recommendation of Lassen County Fair Advisory Board and Fair Manager and award the fundable contract to World Amusements Incorporated and authorize the chairman to execute the contract.
Second.
Okay, motion made by Supervisor Scanlon, second by Supervisor Bridges. Is there anybody from the public? Seeing none, bring it back up here for a vote. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passes. So we are gonna move on to, I think, J. H9? Oh, H9.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. It's going to call.
Eight.
Voicemail.
9.
Yeah, I'm pleased and optimistic to report that we have made a offer on the GIS position and
No way.
a person is formally accepted.
No way.
Of course, we have to go through the background check and all the things that personnel does, but it's very exciting. The gentleman hails from Oregon. He applied some time back and decided to bow out. But apparently he's changed his mind and he's excited to come here and try to get that program shaped up. And so I know that we all have, this is a day that wasn't sure that would ever happen. I was just, and I think it's because I spoke the words that maybe we're going to have to do something different out loud to a couple of people. And then all of a sudden this happened. So anyway, whoever wished it for a Christmas thing, thank you. And
Ho, ho, ho.
we'll look forward to hopefully meeting that person in this boardroom and getting that program underway. Other than that, I just want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all of you. I hope that we come back together in January and everybody had a safe and wonderful Christmas.
Yes.
So,
Same to you.
oh, and by the way, come over to Jensen Hall and hobnob with the employees and have some hot cocoa or coffee or whatever it is and some snacks. And I think Santa might drop by, but if you're on the naughty list, you don't have to come, but you'll still get cocoa and a treat. But come on over. It's between 1 and 3.
No board meeting,
Pardon me?
board meeting for the 23rd.
Oh, no board meeting for the 23rd. No, I won't be Grinch. There'll be no board meeting on the 23rd.
That's good. My
So,
wife has a doctor's appointment.
well, you'll all be busy getting those last minute gifts if you're like me.
Oh, no.
All right, but that's it. So see you next year,
Cool.
or see you over at Jensen Hall. I hope.
Jensen off. See you this year. Later the next.
Okay. Adjournment.